Borders are one of the defining geopolitical concepts of the modern world, separating countries and people, crafted through conflict and cooperation, and disputed in every way possible. In some places, borders seem to take their own life because they represent a unique convergence or unusual quirk of topography, or simply ignore the people around them. And each one has a story. Europe's giant shrub maze is a central meeting place for the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. The Ladder in Drieland en Punt was designed by Adrian Fisher, a British landscape artist who used 17,000 hornbeam cuttings to surround a gazebo in 3 countries. Visitors to the Hotel Arbs in Les Russes, Switzerland, have to go to France to drink at the hotel bar. That same line runs straight through the bed in the hotel suite. From an easy way to cross the Arctic Circle to visit Santa to a little lost bit of Michigan in Ohio, here are the 5 most strange borders in the world. Before starting, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. 5. Rovaniemi, Finland. There are many places in the world where you can cross the Arctic Circle and, depending on the season, step into near-constant darkness or sleep beneath the midnight sun. However, coming across a fixed border with greeters and passport control is unusual. You don't need to worry about security here. These checks are voluntary and just the start of a charming trip to Santa Claus Village. In Finland, the Santa Claus Village in Rovaniemi is considered the official home of the beloved jolly old elf. To visit Santa's village, you get to cross the border of the Arctic Circle without all the typical fuss involved with crossing other geographical boundaries. On the line painted to mark the border, you can see the number 66-3345.9, the latitude at which the Arctic Circle starts. The number changes because the Earth's North Pole is moving, but never by much. Once on the other side of the border, you can explore the village's many attractions. There's even a post office where kids can send their letters to Santa and get a reply. 4. South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. In June of 1818, James Kamak, an esteemed businessman and mathematics professor from the University of Georgia, was tasked with marking the Georgia-Tennessee border with James Gaines, a mathematician. Without any modern tools or the zenith sector he requested, Kamak was forced to rely on inaccurate astronomical tables and the stars. Without those tools, Kamak marked the 35th parallel about 1 mile south of its actual location. The measurements marked the corners of Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama. After completing the survey and observations, a stone was placed about 1 mile from the Tennessee River, marking what Kamak assumed was the 35th parallel. Some say the job was botched, but the technology of the day played a huge role in the incorrect assessments. Kamak was always skeptical of the charts and tables he used to conduct the survey. Around 8 years later, he was tasked with surveying the boundaries of Alabama and Georgia. He discovered his original marker was farther south than the 35th parallel, and thus a new marker was placed farther north. The new marker, dubbed the Kamak Stone, was supposed to mark the corner boundaries of Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. However, it was still placed in the wrong location, uphill from the true 35th parallel in the middle of the river. Although both states' constitutions recognize the 35th parallel as the official border, Tennessee has been accused of recognizing the Kamak Stone as the official border, creating 68 miles of disputed territory each state feels belongs to them. 3. Les Russes, Switzerland. Until 1862, the small village of La Cure, 3,373 feet up, 1028 meters, in the Jura Mountains, was located entirely in France. However, due to a border dispute over Vallée des Dappes, part of the town was transferred to Swiss jurisdiction. The agreement stated that if the borderline bisected a building, it would not be disturbed. In La Cure, this happened at 4 different properties, the most interesting of which is the Hotel Arbs. The border bisects the hotel dining room, and visitors must venture into France to reach the bar. The main hall and stairway are bisected such that the lower stairs are in France and the upper stairs are in Switzerland. One room in the hotel is in France, while its bathroom is in Switzerland. However, the most notable division in the hotel is the honeymoon suite, which is divided down the middle of the master bed. The hotel was initially constructed as 2 separate buildings on the line of the proposed border as a grocery store and a bar in 1862. This was done to take advantage of the cross-border traffic and was only possible because of delays in ratifying a treaty in the Swiss parliament. The building opened as a hotel in 1921 after the grocery shop closed, and a linking building was constructed. During the German occupation of France during World War II, German soldiers were only allowed in the French parts of the hotel. The upper floors thus became a refuge for those fleeing persecution and for members of the French resistance. 2. Keys, Colorado. The Four Corners Monument on the west side of Colorado is a highly commercialized point of interest that attracts thousands yearly, all yearning for the opportunity to have their photo taken in Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico simultaneously. The problem is that the monument is believed to be off by a few hundred feet. Colorado has 3 other corners, but only one is shared by more than one state, and that's where Colorado, Oklahoma, and Kansas come together in the eastern corner of the state. In an area where prairie dogs, coyotes, hawks, and pronghorns outnumber people, this small marker is located within 4 inches of the correct geographical location. A large metal disc has been set into the road to mark the location, meaning you have to stand in the middle of a road, but you can stand in all 3 states at once. 1. Barle-Hertog, Belgium. The town of Barle is home to perhaps the craziest border situation in the world, with dozens of enclaves and exclaves dotting the area, with their borders running crisscross through everything, including houses. This means that people could have their kitchen in one country and their dining room in the other, a situation that gave such an administrative headache that it was decided that a house on the border belongs to the country in which it has its front door. This is not a perfect solution, as is exemplified by the place, which is simultaneously at Loveren 2 in Barle-Hertog and Loveren 19 in Barle-Nassau, because its front door is precisely on the border. Because of this, it was decided to give the house 2 house numbers, one in Belgium and one in the Netherlands. Also, the house owners were allowed to choose which municipality they belonged to and thus where they got their utilities from. Most inhabitants choose Belgium, given that most things are cheaper there. This was not always like this, as there is a famous story about this house from World War II. Allegedly, the Dutch military confiscated the house, not knowing it was on the border. The Belgian government insisted they move their desks and beds, as Dutch soldiers were allowed to sleep in Belgium but not work there. The house was built in the 17th century as a tavern called De Swain. It is now a private residence and one of the most photographed places in the town. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, then subscribe to our channel for more such content.